Hey everyone. So we're embarking upon the conversation again. It's a really intimate, personal, heart connecting conversation between like minded women, redefining the relationship we have with ourselves. It's kind of like a deconstruction because I'm kind of asking you to get super curious about the way you love yourself, period. How do you get your attention met? How are you giving and receiving affection? Do you appreciate you? And honestly, do you accept you? Or are you changing parts of who you are to feel embraced, to feel like you are understood, right? So this 6 week journey isn't hard per se, but it's definitely a heart clencher. So redefining the relationship we have with ourselves is kind of a deconstruction, and then a reconstruction, a redesign, a remodel, because we're reframing the thoughts we're having in our mind. Because even when I say what the 4 needs are, and you all received the PDF, and you've had the opportunity to look at what the foundation is to learn here, because this self-love, this high vibration of acceptance is your right, just like mine. And yet it ticks through the box of deservability. Am I worthy? And then we further hear the echoes of lack of self-esteem, lack of confidence. Just today alone, I was working with a young lady who, I don't even know what she said. How to feel that. That's frightening to me. But we can relate. This wasn't a common thread of conversation at the supper tables, hey? Right? So this week we're moving through creation because I really want to spend some time getting into the depths of the 4 needs of feeling seen, heard, validated. I want us to feel that affection. I want us to feel the affection for ourselves because we showed up. We've ritualized who we are. We believe in the superpower of that magical moment where we're feeling at peace with the moment we're in, that we created. You know, how often do we actually look at ourselves and think, wow, look at those accomplishments you've made. I'm just as guilty. But it's nice to be reminded. And so I took this opportunity during, so many moving retrograde parts. Eclipse season has begun. We've got a full moon. So we're just ripe for this. We're ripe for redefining the relationship we have with ourselves. What do I want to feel? What do I want to feel? What am I still aching for? What could I possibly still need to move through forgiveness with? Okay? So, creation. This is what I want to talk about this week. Creation. Let's define this. It's an action or a process. It's an action or a process of bringing something into existence. You are your existence. So, what's that expression like? What is the expression of your creation, day in and day out? When you lay down at nighttime, are you proud of you? Are you happy for you? Are you happy with the ripple you created? When we rise in the morning, are you looking forward to the day to actually create? Because it's our memories that we're laying down at nighttime with, right? And so redefining the relationship with ourselves is going to change that intimate conversation going on upstairs. That hamster wheel effect that most of us, I feel, maybe use from time to time. So, embracing the 4 needs of the heart is a foundation to learn what self-love is. So we've learned from our caregivers, how to give self-love, how to give and receive there. And, I did mention last week, we might still be unintentionally moving through that. And that's okay. Just get very curious and question, what type of intention am I creating to feel seen, heard, and validated? Is affection something that I feel loved, held, and embraced through? Comfort, right? Do you feel comfort from others easily? Or do you put up walls to never ever feel that? So then how are we able to give this comfort if we're not able to receive it, even from ourselves, correct? So journeying through these 4 needs is really showing you, where's your self-love barometer at? It's your weather station. So creation. Again, I ask, what do you want to feel? Oftentimes, I don't know. Oh, but we do. You know, I don't know is a nice gentle deflection for a moment or two while you gather some sort of thought, but let's feel into our heart. Yes, the heart that you're learning to redefine your relationship with. What do I want to feel? Maybe it's peace. Maybe there's some compassion, gratitude, I hope. Maybe you're humbled with the opportunity to say to yourself, it's okay that I actually can provide myself this self, right? If you're not ready to, stake it at the end of the driveway and say this chick's in love with herself now, I get it. This isn't an easy journey. It isn't, but it's so well worth it. What's that ache today? Pardon me. What is that ache within you? What are you perhaps yearning for that you won't allow yourself to have? I know someone, he buys and sells his happiness to himself in a conversation. I'm going to do this, maybe not. I'm going to do this, maybe not. That bargaining back and forth. That's tossing his feelings back. So where does forgiveness come in here? If that's the jab, right? Like, go back. What's the ache? Why am I not allowing myself to feel X, Y, Z or have X, Y, Z? Whatever that might be. Where in you do you feel that there's this undeserving part of you that, I want to tap into that? And am I willing to honor and respect boundaries? Because this is a big part of this self-love journey you're on. The redefining of the relationship with yourself is going to require boundaries. Because your needs were being met perhaps in ways that weren't maybe healthy. And when you can give yourself the attention, you may be shifting relationships along the way. This is life. This is life. Relationship shifts. If these relationships are willing to grow with you, fabulous. If not, okay, peace, right? It doesn't have to be anger. It just has to be honesty. Honest communication begins with ourself, though, right? So there's a lot of moving parts to this self-love session, right? So the 4 A's of the heart, those are your needs. We're looking at it through the 5 realms, that perspective of the realms. How am I meeting these needs through these realms of these 4 specific needs? And then asking ourselves the 5 fundamental questions. Really not going to get an answer clear, right? But it's something that percolates as you learn to love yourself in a new way, as you learn to embrace all of the realms of life. Not every day they're going to get 100% each, but sometimes your physical realm is going to need you a little bit more than your spiritual realm. Are we touching all? Are we touching all these realms just to keep an eye on things, right? We're whole, safe, and complete at all times. However, sometimes our energy starts to leak into other areas, and before we know it, we may end up, what? Unable to be our whole self. And don't forget, meditation is a powerful tool. Meditation is a tool that allows you to get really, really settled in your mind, your body, where we can connect to that spirit within, that voice within, that voice that's learning to be redefined from the commitment of the 4 needs of your heart, redefining the relationship with yourself, helping you connect in a way perhaps that we've never before. Yeah, this is great work, ladies. Great work. But I do know that there's another big chunk of this conversation. When I start discussing, attention, affection, the 4 A's, right? When I start looking at those through my client's eyes with them, pointing out, okay, these are some of the areas where you might need to put a little bit more attention with affection and appreciate the opportunity to do so, so that you can accept yourself. But we're moving up against perhaps parts of ourselves that are connected and tied and binds, constricted through, limiting beliefs, damn it, right? We tell ourselves a story. Maybe there was a time or a few times in your life where less than, unable to emotionally handle what was happening. You may have come across as a complete, sometimes angry person. I can relate to that. Forgiveness is also a powerful tool where I've used meditation to help smooth the waters within my body. Trauma can talk for you in ways that you don't understand until you're aware that you are responding from there. Okay? This is why I love teaching self-love. This is why I love even embracing this every time I'm directing it. Why? Because learning to love who you are, that's courageous. Because sometimes we see parts of ourselves that didn't seem very lovable and probably didn't look it. Okay? Right? But the big chunk of this conversation that really, really has to come through as well. I mean, it's one thing for me to say, oh yeah, these are the 4 A's of your heart. This is what your heart needs. Let's get at her, pitter patter, right? And then, come join me and we'll look at life through the 5 realms. Oh, and by the way, once you've done that, I want you to apply 5 fundamental questions to all of this workings. That's a lot of moving parts. But I do know this part. The I don't know sometimes is because you truly don't, but there's a feeling and you just don't have words. But I do know this, our body holds the truth. Our body keeps the score, right? There's that famous book and author, I can't quote off the top of my head, but anyway, thank you. Great book. Great book. Great read. I use it a lot to reference, help my clients, right? The root, the sacral, and the solar plexus chakra in the bottom area of our body. Hips, groin, lower belly. These 3 chakras play a vital role in connecting our body, our mind, and our spirit. These 3 chakras play a vital role also in supporting that heart. Okay, I taught a course in January, The Power of 7. Powerful. It was a long day, 6 hours. 6 hours of consistent conversation regarding the chakras and the direct emotion and the body connection. Why? This knowledge could set you free, or it could hold you back, right? It's a lot of awareness. These chakras that play a vital role in connection to that mind, body, and spirit, it's a lot of information, and it's a lot of getting to know you. It just seems like, I don't know if everyone here will resonate with this. However, don't you find that it's sometimes easier to get to know someone else than to get to know you? Because we unintentionally, and I may not be speaking for everyone, but I know that I maybe have done it like this, maybe felt life like this. I looked at myself as the viewpoint of what others had. Never once did I give myself, well, I do now. In the past, I never gave myself the opportunity to question, to be curious. Is that what I see? Okay. So when the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus are balanced chakras, we are confident, moving with flow. We feel safe and stable. Our body feels safe to move into action. Our bodies allow us to feel, to really feel, not deny, not repress, right? And it isn't easy. Balancing our chakras takes attention, affection, and appreciation for the opportunity to acknowledge that these moving energy centers are a big part of how we show up in the everyday moving parts of life, right? We're empowered and we're emotional well-beings. Doesn't that sound like effortlessness? When these three are balanced, we have an easier time choosing to meet the four needs of the heart. Yeah. We could be our own full-time job, right? Ritualizing your life isn't for everybody. I hope it is, though, right? Ritualizing. Every day we get up, and what sets the tone for this to be in its prime? For my humanness to show up in its shine. What have I done? I have ritualized what it is I need to feel balanced, harmonized, and whole. So every morning, daily meditation, daily yoga, daily walk, foods that energize and support, a happy feeling in my body. No processed foods or very little if possible. I'm just saying, my body ain't built. My body is built for confidence and assertiveness and motivation. And I just find that certain foods slow me down. I am an Ayurvedic health coach as well. So now, the four needs of the heart needs us to look outside of just that heart, right? We need to look at the physical body, right? But we need the mind to connect with that as well, right? So all these moving parts play a big, crucial role in how you love yourself. You know? How is your physical body impacting your ability to choose? How can I support you to move forward in life? How can I support you in learning that these four needs of the heart set the stage for every interaction, every exchange, every relationship, and every decision and choice you're making moving forward? It's true. So, how is your physical body impacting your ability to choose you? That's what I'd really like us to focus on. You did get your hand out. Again, don't forget. Reflect, journal, meditate, do yoga, hug a tree as well if you can squeeze that into your daily life. Ritualize you. Brighten that spark. Shine, shine, shine. And I'll see you all next week. Thanks for joining me tonight. It's been a pleasure.